Hello, YouTube. This is Price667, and we are here. We're back after my, I guess, was a month-long hiatus or however long it was, but I didn't really have anything else going on over that month. I really wanted to do recordings for anything like that. No Twitch streams, anything like that. It was just a nice, long, relaxing period. What I'm back here for is actually I was invited to join the APA Wi-Fi League, which is really exciting. This is one of the bigger Wi-Fi leagues during the heyday of Wi-Fi leagues in general. It's kind of fallen off since then. Wi-Fi leagues just aren't that big anymore, I guess. But still, I was excited to get an invite to join APA from my good friend OG Albina. I do help him run the showdown side of APA, so I guess that could be a big reason why he invited me. I also recently won SBU, so please, if you haven't seen that run, it was really amazing. I had a lot of fun with it. Wi-Fi leagues in general is just I found a lot more fun than showdown leagues because I just feel like it's a lot less sweaty. I can just enjoy myself a little bit more, try things I've never really tried before, that sort of thing. So I was more than happy to accept the invite, and here we are. So what I guess what I'm going to do first is I'm going to explain how APA Wi-Fi is the draft setting and whatever else is a little bit different from I guess regular drafts in the way of it's actually a 12-week season where we play with three different drafts. So every 4 weeks we draft a whole new team and whatnot. And what that does is it kind of if you get stuck with a bad draft for in the beginning, then you can at least not be stuck with it all season and still have a chance to make up for it with their drafts down the road. And that sort of thing could be like made up for, like, say you get bad picks, like, oh, then you could get a better pick down the road as well. So that's kind of what this is doing for us. But it also means that you don't get any transactions throughout the 4 weeks. So if you have a bad draft, you're kind of stuck with it for those 4 weeks instead of like fixing it a little bit with transactions. So it's that I guess negative as well. So it comes with its both pros and cons. Um, it's a very long season, 12 weeks. I'm known to struggle after like 10 weeks, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But with like the changing teams, whatever else, I think I'm excited for it. So let's see how it goes. This is the first draft, so for the first 4 weeks, and we'll just get into it. So, what I did, I had the fifth pick, and I at first was excited about it because it was like fifth pick. That's a great pick. I could get a good top tier mon with the fifth pick, especially since they allowed Dragapult or Shifu for some odd reason. And then like I went to bed that night. I was thinking, wait, because of how they're doing it is for the draft. If you get a good pick, then later on you'll get a worse pick type of thing. So they're kind of like evening it out where people with like lower, like the bottom picks, will have a higher probability of getting a higher pick. So me getting a higher pick, but not a top two pick, kind of stops me from getting a top two pick down the road unless I get very lucky. And knowing my luck, it ain't gonna happen. So I don't get to use Dragapult and I don't get to use Urshifu. And that sucks because those are the two mods I wanted to use because they should be banned because they are broken in standard draft format. I don't know why they were allowed. I was actually 110% shocked. I was joking that you guys should allow this so I can draft it. And it's like, it's not broken at all, trust me. And then like everyone voted to allow it. I was like, you guys are insane. Because these mods are broken. So, with that, we'll just get to my first pick, of course. With the fifth pick, I got like a choice of a lot of good mods. I ended up taking Garchomp. Honestly, if not for Dragapult or Shifu, I would say Garchomp is arguably the best mon in draft format. On just the simple fact, it got Scale Shot. And now there are ways to boost its speed. And I've always been a prior saying that Garchomp should get Dragon Dance. They should just make it more broken, because why not? But now it actually gets Scale Shot, so in a way it does boost its speed. And that alone is just super scary. Sword Stance, Scale Shot, next thing you know, it has no checks after that. Like, what are you doing to stop it? Ice Shard? You just slap a Yachi Berry on the thing. Simple enough. It's crazy. And it's like it's also it can be ran bulky defensively, so it gives me a lot of options early on, which is I really liked. In the way of like opposite of Urshifu, where Urshifu only has one option, and that's just clicking Wicked Blow. Of course, nothing switches into Wicked Blow, so I guess that's fine. But I just very excited. Garchomp first pick. I've actually never used Garchomp since the DLC release, so I get to use Scale Shot for the first time, so I'm really looking forward to it. And going into our second pick, I was talking with some friends in one of the servers I'm in, and we were discussing like what should I get next, and like a lot of them was like Kartana is amazing. You should get Kartana. I was like, yeah, I do like Kartana a lot, but like also is there something else I should get? And then one guy's like suggested get King. The thing is busted, and I was like, yes, you are right. King is busted, and let's see if like whatever. And I was like, look at the tiers or whatever. It's like because I wasn't gonna get King if it was like 16, and I ended up getting a 13-point King. This thing is undervalued in this league by a lot. I'd say this thing is worth at least 15 points. 15 points, I'd say, actually is a max. I'd say I'd put it at 15 points, honestly. I've seen leagues that rank it like with 16 or 17 points, which 16 is okay. 17 is just a little overvalued, but 13 is way undervalued for this. This mon, no special attacker can kill this thing. I remember I was facing this in another league. I had a Nidoking, a Sheer Force, Life Orb boosted, modest Nidoking. Earth Power did 30%. And I was like, what in the world is this mon? So this thing is just, it does not die. Regen, it can also be offensive with Nasty Plot sets or Calm Mind sets. It's just, like, Regen in this generation specifically is broken. Probably, like, especially with boots now, Regen's just become super broken. That's why Torn T is just so good now, just because of Regen alone. So now, I get regen and I get probably one of the better regen mons. So it's amazing. Paired up with Garchomp, boom, done. Garchomp does not like Ice Beam, so boom. Here's my Ice Beam check. It doesn't resist Ice Beam, but it might as well just resist it for how little your Ice Beam's going to do to it. So next, we discussed Kartana earlier. It's like, no way Kartana's making it to me round 3, right? It's like Kartana's busted mon in draft league just because of like how little checks it has just for its super high base attacks at 181, and its defense stat is still really high as well. It's like it's nothing to sneeze at. So I was actually shocked. I ended up getting Kartana round 3. I was super excited about it. I was like, okay, these top 3 mons, amazing draft so far. Now, the issue, like the one big thing about Kartana is it does not resist ground types, and it does not resist ice types with its grass steel typing, kind of ruining both the grass typing what I would want it for and the steel typing for what I want it for. But once again, as I reiterated earlier, its defense stat is actually really good. It's not as like high as like Buzzwole or stuff like that, but still a really nice defense stat that you are not going to kill it with a physical move that often. You really need to hit it with a special move to even have a chance to kill this thing. So that upon the fact that high speed, it hits I believe its speed stat is 109, I think. So it's really up there, like 348 speed, outspeeding most things with the base 181 attack stat. And the thing is, you can also, as discussed in other videos, you can actually make this speed boosting beast boost mon with if you just IV and EV the attack stat correctly. So that's really exciting as well. I can have a SD speed boosting Kartana, and at that point there are no switch-ins. So this is I'm really excited. Round 3 Kartana, really amazing, broken pick. And from there, we just go into round 4. I wanted to complete my regen core, honestly. I was like, I also wanted like a fighting type, something that can like also U-turn around, get my Kartana and Garchomp in, since King just doesn't have like the same utility that Slowking does. I was like, I need something to like pivot around, do major damage, as well as like complete my regen core. Is like Mian Shao's there. I'll take Mian Shao. It puts me in the awkward position of having 3 different mons that are all between the 100 and the 110 base speed stat, which to me doesn't really matter too much. Because on the fact that I don't have to run max speed Garchomp all the time, I can be like a more defensive set. Just I don't think that I need to go jolly on everything, or just like max speed plus speed type of thing on everything. I can mix around with the speeds a little bit. I don't have to be max speed everything just to outspeed something. That's just not how I'm going to have like that's not going to have them play these three mods just on the fact that I have they can do three different things. So other than that though, once again, double regen core Glow King, amazing fighting type as well. Just it can also I can run Reckless if I want to. High jump kick Reckless is claiming lives against non-ghost types. So overall, like a very good. I think it's like underrated on the fact that it can do a lot more than just be a scar for a regen mon or just a regen mon in general. I think it just does a lot more than what some people would make it out to be. So very excited I can get it. Next pick, I was really wanting like a fire type and like a slower like fire type as well, just like to fill out like some of like the between the Glow King and the Garchomp speed, which was quite a major speed gap into round five. So I decided to get Incineroar. Now, someone told me I should get Talonflame, and the person who told me that does not understand how bad Talonflame is. Talonflame is utterly garbage. Ever since they nerfed the hell out of Gale Wings, it just doesn't do anything anymore. It is literally all it's there for is Flame Body, and that's it. It requires boots all the time. Incineroar does not require boots all the time, though boots is really nice on Incineroar, honestly, just so you don't take that 25% chip from rocks. And that if I can get rid of, if I can make sure I can keep rocks off, I can bring like an AV Incineroar set or like a Scarf Incineroar set even is a possibility. It's just Incineroar is just such a scary mon in the fact that Parting Shot, U-turn, Fake Out, Flare Blitz, Darkest Lariat is just it gets hits like a truck and it's just so powerful and I just think really helps out my team thus far. I needed that. Something to weaken grass types, especially, so that break for my Kartana, as well as just pivot out into Kartana. Since what's going to switch into Incineroars usually are the Water and Fairy types. And the thing about Water and Fairy types is Kartana destroys those. So, uh, really great on like just pivoting into Kartana, like letting Kartana come in. Also, can pivot into Garchomp or Mienshao. Anything that creates a good like double pivot core with Mienshao. So just amazing overall. Also fake out support. Just giving me some priority as well with the Mienshao double fake out. Is overall just a very scary, annoying mon for other teams to deal with. I'm very excited to finally have drafted Incineroar after like last drafting it, I believe, in USOM. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to use it. So next up, I needed a grass type that can check grounds. Now, some people would like to say, I'm totally subtweeting these people right now, uh, that Sarina is just a grass type, like, oh, I need a ground resist, and oh, there's no good grass types left. I guess I'm getting Sarina. Sarina is a good grass type, okay? For people who think that Sarina can't check ground types, they do not know how to use Sarina well. Sarina is a spectacular grass type on the fact it gets triple axle as well. So flying types are not going to be an easy switch into this mod. It's super powerful still. It gets rapid spin support, Queenly Majesty to block any like Ice Shard users or any other like Fake Out or Sucker Punch, that type of thing. So Queenly Majesty is actually a pretty good ability for it. And it's just synthesis up. It's actually a really good semi-bulky, semi-offensive grass type. Now, I was thinking about like getting Delmise over Sarina, but I've recently used Delmise in SBU, so I was like, I wanted something else. I wanted something a little bit faster, something that hits just as hard. So I was like, I'm gonna get Sarina. So I'm very happy about this pick. This wasn't there's no good grass types left because there was a Tangrowth on the board. I'm pretty sure I could have taken, but I wanted Sarina more than I wanted Tangrowth. Now going into this next pick, we end up taking Spectrier. I noticed that my first six picks were all physical attackers and a Glow King. So I was like, I need a special attacker. And I was talking with some people. I was like, you know what? Do you think about Spectrier? Honestly, it's just like because it was there on the board still. I was like, you know what do you think about Spectrier? And they're like saying like Spectrier is actually a really good mon, and I think it would fit really well with this team, and it does because I can break really well with Kartana, and even Garchomp can be a good breaker. Mianshao is a great breaker for Spectrier, honestly, just for those fighting types just to break through the normal so that Spectre can come in and just sweep. The thing with Spectre is it forces normals, and my team does not care about facing a normal type. My team can easily handle normal types. So Spectre is what it's doing is it forces prep, and I love that about this mon. And if you don't bring the correct mons to face Spectre, it will 6-0 you with ease, without a care in the world. It has so many good sets. It doesn't just have to be specs. It could be Nasty Plot, Sub, Willow, Hex sets, especially are really good. And once I can like weaken down the normal types or the dark types that like check this mon, and I have ways to do that, Kartana, Incineroar, Mienshao, those types of things. So once those are weakened, Spectre goes in and just claims lives. And also, it's just on the simple fact that having rocks up as well and then pivoting, I can double easily with Spectre because like Spectre is obviously going to force a dark type or a normal type to come in. So I can pivot into Mienshao, and since Mienshao has Regenerator, Mienshao does not care about pivoting at all. So I can pivot Mienshao into those normal and dark types, and then boom, force them out, force more chip on them with rocks. And so it's just I love this. I love what I am going to do with this mod, honestly. I'm very excited to use it. I've never used it before. I used to be able the same boat of like, oh, it's Spectre is bad because it can't touch a normal type. The thing is, Spectre can beat normal types. I found that firsthand when I faced a Spectre in the LD Invitational. It actually could threaten my normal type if it was just a taunt set. It completely walled my type null. And I was like, how do I lose to this mon with a type null? So it can actually break through some normals. So it's not just completely dead in the water versus any normal type. So like unless you have an amazing bulky normal type, you aren't going to beat the Spectre. And next up, we decided to grab Gardevoir. Now, I really wanted Klefki for this pick because I wanted Spikes and I wanted Steel type, and I was like, Klefki's right there. And then D-Ray's like, you know what? I have a Tapu Fini. I'm gonna get Klefki as well because I like clicking Thunder Wave with my Tapu Fini. And I was so mad because I really wanted Klefki and it was literally the pick before me, and I lost it. So I got Gardevoir. I mean, Gardevoir isn't bad by any means. It's an offensive special attacker, which I didn't really have besides Spectrier, and Spectrier just isn't going to be coming every week just on the fact that like if they have an amazing normal type and an amazing dark type paired together, I'm not going to be able to break both of them for a Spectrier in the allotted time just due to timer and Wi-Fi. So I was like, you know what? I wasn't terribly disappointed with Gardevoir. Honestly, still a really good fairy offensively speaking. And I already have the defensive mons that I wanted with the Incineroar and Glowking being on like the physical and the special defense side. Also, as Kartana could be a physical defensive mon, Garchomp as well. Like I still like I had the bulk I wanted. It's just I wanted like a very fairy type, and I just got Gardevoir instead. Gardevoir still isn't bad by any means. I'm not trying to trash talk this mon a lot. I still love it. It's probably one of my favorite mons overall, just in general, just because Mega Gardevoir usually, but no Megas in Gen 8 because Pokemon hates us. But still, Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, Psyshock, Future Sight, Psychic, Shadow Ball, T-Bolt. Amazing coverage still. Hits really hard. It's like Choice Spec sets, Life Orb sets, Scarf sets. It gets Healing Wish as well. So I can just bring like a Scarf set, and it's like if I'm low, it's like okay, let me Healing Wish off so I can get one of my breakers back to full and just sweep in the end game. So it does well with this team. It's just I think Clefty would have been better. So, enough trash talking D-Ray. Next up we have Regirock, and if you had noticed, like I did going into this round, I was like, I have no flying resist whatsoever. I have nothing to take a flying type. It's like, okay, let me grab probably one of the best rock types left. It's like Regirock is there. Let me grab Regirock. So, 6-point Regirock, base 200 defense, base 100 special defense. Really, really bulky mon. It does not die to really any flying type out there. So it's just gonna go in, sit on it, do what it wants, set stealth rocks, click a rock slide. I can run curse, body press. I can run iron defense, body press. I can run an offensive set if I'm crazy. But it's just overall like for its tier value, it's a good low value, like low tier pick, I think, for what I needed. It gives me another stealth rocker outside of Garchomp just so I don't have to bring stealth rocks and Garchomp. If like I want to bring SD3 attacks Garchomp instead, I can just bring stealth rocks and Regirock instead. So it gives me another reliable rocker, so now I have two reliable rockers. And overall, I've used this bond quite a few times. I've really enjoyed this, so I was like, I'm just going to use it again. Simple enough. Next up, if you notice as well, I still don't really have like Starmie is my only ground check, and I had no ground immunities, no flying types or levitate users, stuff like that. So I was like, I'm gonna get Rotom Frost. Now, Rotom Frost is, I think, of the Rotoms, I believe it is the fourth best. I would rather have uh, Wash, Heat, and Motom over Rotom Frost, but it's a lower tier value than all of those three, and it has the amazing ice and electric coverage as its dual stabs, and there are very little mons that can tank both electric and ice types. Really coming down to like a few of those just in general like good like I guess like fire ground like face of camera for some reason. Don't even know if camera's in the game. Never seen it. But if it's just other than that, really, it's just amazing coverage, just along with Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp. It can be nasty plot sets, it could be scarf sets, it could be boot sets, defog, that sort of thing. So honestly, also gives me a good defogger to pair with Sarina as my spinners. So if I'm not bringing Sarina to get rid of hazards, I could bring Rotom Frost instead to get rid of hazards. So I've actually I don't think I've ever really used Rotom Frost before. I've used, I believe, all the other Rotoms except Rotom Frost, and now I could use Rotom Frost, and I'm excited because its dual stab is actually pretty good. Like for a low tier Rotom, it still has the Rotom stats of like 100 defenses and a 100 special attack stats, so it still has that going for it, and it's still like it can still be a very good nuisance like with that 86 speed tier. And also on the simple fact that I didn't have anything between the speed tier of Gardevoir and Garchomp, which was a kind of a big gap I wanted to patch up. Rotom Frost patches it up a little bit. Not a lot per se, but enough in my eyes to like do what I wanted it to do. So it's here. It's gonna click Blizzards. It's gonna nasty plot, just do its thing. And finally, my last pick, I wanted a water type because I did not have a water type yet. Because I just completely forgot. I was like, oh wait, I should probably get water type now. And the water types on the board left were like for the amount of points I had left were not great. So I was really struggling. I was talking with a lot of people. I promised Darkrai I would get Wishy-Washy for him. And instead of getting Wishy-Washy, I ended up getting Clawitzer. Now, the reason I did that was because I love Wishiwashi as Lamon, don't get me wrong. It's just, it scares me of like when it gets below 25%, it becomes complete, utter love disc-esque garbage. And so I was like, I don't want to be dependent on, like, because if I wanted bulky water, I wanted something that could tank hits all the way down to that low of health. So it was like, there was like no good bulky water left for me to do that. I was like, okay, so next option is just get an offensive water and say, screw it, I'm gonna get another great, like another powerful special attackers. Like Claudser's there, and its coverage is spectacular. Its ability plus its coverage is amazing. If I'm facing any terrain, I can run Terrain Pulse and things just drop to it. Aura Sphere, Water Pulse, just Mega Booster, or whatever it's called, is just an amazing ability with the Smon. Hits extremely hard, really high special attack stat. So I was like, I'm just gonna get that. I can just like I could bring a choice spec set. I could bring like a just a normal special attack set like U-turn or flip turn or whatnot, and just hit things really hard. So I was like, I'm just gonna do that. I don't care about getting a bulky wire. I don't think like some people are really stuck in that mindset of like bulky wires are required on all drafts. I don't believe that. I think you can like if you give like stuff that like bulky wires can check. So what bulky wires are like really good at checking are like other water types and ice types specifically. And ice types I'm not really scared of. I have an Incineroar. It kind of just beats up ice types with ease. Other water types, I have two amazing grass types in Starmina and Kartana. I have Rune Frost as an electric type. So as well as just like, just like checking most of like the meta as well, just because it's a bulky water type that doesn't take much from hits or whatnot. So like dragons aren't gonna hit super hard, that sort of thing. And just I think I wanted a little bit more offense with this pick than Wishy-Washy will give me just because of like how slow it is and how much it scares me of like if it gets below quarter health, it becomes a total waste of a slot. So I was like, I need to have something that hits hard. It's just it's good at any point in time instead of just above the 25% threshold because I don't trust myself to keep hazards away at all times, especially when my hazard removal aren't my top mons in Sarina and Frost. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get Clawitzer. I want to use this mod, so I'm just very excited to use it. Overall, not my best draft, I would say. But also not my worst. I'm excited with this team. With like what they offer, especially like my top like 4 or 5 picks, and then like Spectre in there, God of War. Like I just feel like every mod on this team is a threat in its own way. It's just not a like garbage. Let me throw it on here. So I just think it forces prep for all 11 mons, which could be really tough because it just kind of stretches some people thin. So, and at the same time, I'm only using this for 4 weeks. So if I find out like, hey, I don't like this, I can just go into the next draft and draft something completely different. So overall, it gives me something new to use. It gives me something that I still enjoy, which is like a more offensive build. Not exactly hyper offense, but pretty close to it. It's like more of a balanced, but like more balanced offense than just balance overall. So, and it's just with the fact of like all the offensive creeping, it made offense more viable in the later gens than it did like in Gen 7 or Gen 6. Well, I guess Gen 7 and Z moves, but Z moves are terrible, and that's why I use them is a garbage generation. All right. Thank you all for joining. I'm not going to be posting a video next week since it is the holidays, but look out for my week 1 battle come in January. And from there, we'll just like get onto it. Big shout outs to OG Albina, D-Ray, Just Kurt, and Jom, and anyone else who helps run the APA Wi-Fi division. If I forgot you, I apologize. Big shout outs to you all for accepting me and my 22 subscribers into this. By far, I am the least known Wi-Fi battler in the roster coming this season, and it's gonna be different from SBU on the fact that like SBU was more chill. This is gonna be probably like more sweaty for more people, so we'll find out how I do. But I did win SBU, and so I do have a little bit of confidence in my ability, or confidence in my friends helping me build and telling me what to do in that ability. So I guess confidence in picking good friends. Uh, Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Thank you. Peace.